Hi, my name is Dave Matticio, sales engineer with Roland Pro AV, and I'm coming to you today live from the Toronto Inspiration Center, and I'm going to be showing you the V-1HD Plus, as well as the UVC-01 USB video capture device. So I'm going to be toggling between a few different screens here today. You're going to be seeing my multi-view, you're going to be seeing my main program output, and then you're going to be seeing the overview of the unit. So on the left-hand side is where we do all of our quick on-the-fly audio stuff. You're going to have your audio level 1 and 2, so you could think of these as audio faders. That's going to be your levels. These are going to be your main gains for your XLR mic inputs. You have line in right here for your RCA inputs in the back, and then you've got your main output here. You've got your setup link right here. This is going to be where you do all of your embedding, de-embedding, your audio levels, your limiter settings, all that kind of audio stuff in here. And then there's your limiter, which you're going to be able to do on the fly, on and off. Like I said, there's your main master output right there. Above that, we've got our fade to black, fade to white. Fade to white can also be fade to still. So if you've got a bug or a company logo or anything like that, you can fade to white. Beside that, we've got DSK preview, and then we've got DSK on. So we're going to get to the downscale key section in a little bit, and I'll show you guys how to whip up the green screen stuff and the Lumi keys. Then over to the side here, we've got our mode button, and mode is going to be one of the most important features of this unit because it offers quick access to stuff that you're going to want to have at your fingertips at all times. So right now you can see that my little green light here is on still images. So I'm just going to bounce over to program here real quick, and you'll see now I can toggle on the fly between my still images. And the good part about that is I'm not using up one of my inputs. Before with other switchers, you've got to go in, you've got to assign one of your inputs to a still. That's not the case with this. You've basically got an auxiliary bus, which you can load 4 stills into right there. Next up is going to be my picture-in-picture source. So when we get into picture-in-pictures, you'll be able to see that I can toggle what's in that pip box simply with this auxiliary strip as well. Next up is going to be memory 1 to 4 and memory 5 to 8. Once we get a bunch of stuff set up later, I'm going to save some memories and show you how that works and how it's going to simplify projects that you guys are working on. Below here is my split on and off, my picture-in-picture on and off, my preview and my post input buttons, my transition button between mix and wipes, which I can click on, I can set up, I can toggle between the two. I've got my cut, my auto, and I've got my T-bar. While I'm on the front unit, we should probably jump to the back panel of the unit. So let's just get you over to program here. So you're going to see we've got RS-232 and tally ports. We've got our USB memory. So that's going to be for loading your still images, for backing up projects, for importing projects. Next up, you're going to see our outputs. So you've got 1 and 2. So 2 is going to be your multi-view. You could also double it as your program. You could make it your preview. Most people are going to use that multi-view, and then 1 is going to be your main program out. Then you see your HDMI 1 to 4, and I hope you guys are seeing underneath 4 it says scaler. So yes, that's right. We do have a scaler built into this unit. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but that's going to make your life much more easier with troublesome resolutions that are coming into the unit. Above that, you've got your line in, RCA left, right. So in case you don't want to use the HDMI audio or you don't want to use your mic audio, you're just going to pump your own audio into that. You're going to embed it into your program, and that's going to be your main audio source, and everything else will just be muted. Like we talked about earlier, there's audio 1 and 2 in the back, your mic inputs, and then you've got nice balanced TRS 1/4 inch outputs for your audio outputs as well. Below this, you can see that I've got a mini jack mic in as well with a line level. And then I've got my headphone jack with its own audio level as well. Now we're going to bounce over to our still images. So what we're going to do, you're going to make sure that this is in still image mode. That makes this line, these 4 buttons here, your still images. So you can see that I've got 3 lit up. And if I go onto program here so you guys can see them, I've got a back panel of my unit. I've got a Roland bug, and then I've got a nice TR8 here. So let's load one more that we're going to use later on for our DSK. So I'm just going to toggle into my menu here. So let me go to menu. Now I'm going to find still images. I'm going to go to still 4. And now let's load my one that I have called green. So I know that's my green screen. So now in the right-hand corner, you're going to see that loading. And the good thing that I should mention while this is loading, these images, your stills do not go away after a power cycle. So anything you've loaded in the unit, when you power it back up, the stills are going to survive. So I believe it's called non-destructive power cycling, and this definitely has that. So now we've got our 4 inputs, or sorry, we've got our 4 stills. We're going to toggle between them so you can see our 4 stills here. And like I said before, that is not taking up any of our input sources. It's almost like a fifth input, having those stills there. So we've got those. So what we're going to do now, let's move on to picture-in-picture. So when I go to picture-in-picture now, let's get an overview back here. So now you'll see that this button has lit up yellow in mode, and now my picture-in-picture source is going to be live. So what I'm going to do, get you guys back to program here, turn on picture-in-picture, and now you see it show up in the left-hand corner. So when I'm on my sources right here, you'll see that in real time, I can now switch between all of my input sources in my PIP. The best part about this is, with these control knobs to the left, watch what I can do now with these stills. So I can move horizontal and vertically, but if I hold these down, if I push them in, now in real time, I can resize. So this is huge because before you would be stuck with 1/3, 1/4, 1/2, and you wouldn't be able to size it to exactly the precision that you're looking for. Now you can. The image, or the control below, I can actually zoom in and out in real time as well. So these control knobs are going to come in very, very handy for doing things on the fly with your picture-in-pictures. Next up, we're going to show split mode. So in split mode, you can see that I have my 2 buses, and now they're red. So that means both of them are going to be active. So now when I change the bottom bus, you can see that my right-hand image is changing. And when I change the top bus, it's going between my inputs on the left-hand side. Now, we've already spoke about the control knobs to the left, but watch what they do when in split mode. So let's get 2 different images here. So now I can pick which part of that input that I'd like to be in program mode. So that's 1 and 2. I can shuffle them around to wherever I want to single out whatever position I'm looking for on the screen. Then what I can do, if I hold the control down, I can actually resize the 2. So we could have a presentation going on the left. You could have your PowerPoint running. You could have a picture of the person speaking who's actually presenting on the right. Instead of doing it in picture-in-picture, you can do it in split mode. If you control the bottom one, you're actually changing it now from a vertical up and down. So there's a lot of different stuff that you could do, and different setup, different transitions, or different compositions that you could set up like this simply by dialing it in on the unit. Now let's move on to downscale keying. So everybody's going to want to know how to do the green screening, how to do the Lumi, to get your bugs in the corner. So let's go through that real quick here. We're going to click our menu. So let's pick a source for our downscale key. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to DSK here. So my preview is off. So now my source, what I'm going to want to pick Since I know my green screen is on still 4, let's pick that. And now DSK type, let's pick chroma. And now our color, we're going to pick green. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on my downscale is going to be on. And now, let's bring us back to our program output. So we see that nothing happened. It's because we have too much green still. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into our DSK level. Slowly but surely, you'll see that as I move this, now that you guys have seen this disappear, I'll do this in program so it's a little bigger. So I'm slowly but surely getting rid of all that green, and then you want to go in and you want to fine tune it. So now we've successfully done a green key keying. Now let's go back into our menu, and we are going to pick still 2, and this time instead of chroma, we're going to do Lumi Black, and the level is already set for us. But I'm going to reset this just to show you in real time. So now I'll go back to my program, and now I've set my my key to my still 2. So right now, I'll show you an overview. I'm toggling through, or I'm just moving slightly to the right here with my value knob, and then bang, out comes the black. And now I'm left with my white Roland Pro AV bug. This is more pronounced than what they're usually going to be. They're going to be in the bottom left or bottom right-hand corner, wherever you choose to be. But just for presentation purposes, there's our bug. All right, as I've mentioned before, let's get into the scaling section on input 4. So I'm going to go to my menu, and we're going to go into, let me back up out of here, show you where it is. So video input. I'm going to go to input scaler 4. Now here's where I can flip horizontally, I can flip vertically. It's got my edit information for computers. I've got my zoom right here, so let's bring you to a big one. Now let's just show you in real time here, me zooming. Okay, so there's our zoom, and right now we're on manual. So when I set it to auto, let's just get us back to 100 here. And now, when I flip the landscape, automatically 1920 by 1080, it's taking the black bars out for me. Okay, so here we are. And now, again, I can scale that in and out. Get it back to 100 here. We can widen. You can stretch it horizontally. Let's say you're trying to fill up some weird resolutions on a projector. Got all of that you can do here on your scaler. Okay, now let's build some memories here, because this is going to be something that everybody is going to find extremely handy once you have something set up, a composition, let's say a picture-in-picture, a downscale key. Any of these features can be saved as a memory on our memory bus here. So I'll go to memory and I'll have this set. So what we're going to do, let's start from the beginning. So let's go to our program. Let me pick an input here. Okay, so let's pick, this is our background. Let's turn a picture-in-picture on. Let's make the picture-in-picture a little bigger. Let's get it exactly where we want it. And also, let's bring in our downscale key. So we like this composition. We're ready to save it. I simply go to memory here, so it's blue. I know it's memory 1 to 4. I'm going to hold down this button. And now that entire thing is saved to memory 1. So on memory 2, let's see. Let's go back in and let's do a green screen here. So I'm going to go to my DSK. And now let's pick our still 4 like we did before. Let's move to chroma. Okay, good, it's on green. Now 17, so let's turn that on. And then what we'll do is, let me get a background here. Okay, perfect. So now let's scroll this up until we get to something. We get the green out. That looks pretty good. Let's change our picture-in-picture source. So let's go in here and let's go back to picture-in-picture. And we will pick, let's see, what do we want him to point at? Yeah, we want him to point at the Roland stuff. Okay, so we like that. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to memory. And now remember, I already have the one saved on 1. I'm gonna hold down number 2. And now it's saved to number 2. So when I go to my program, we see that it's the last memory, it's the last composition that I did. But now, look, when I switch to my video or my memory 1, all of my settings come back. Switch to memory 2, all of those settings come back. Let's do a quick one on number 3. Let's turn our downscale key off. Let's turn our picture-in-picture off. Let's go to a split. Let's go to horizontal. Okay, and then now let's pick this for our split. Let's move it over a little bit. Now let's move her a little bit over. I like that. So now we're going to go back to our memory bank. Remember, I did 1 and 2. Now let's do 3. So all that information is saved now. As I toggle through my memories, all of my stuff comes back just as I left it. Super easy to program. If you have, a setup where, you can be there beforehand and you can set up, let's say, your show, and you can have a whole bunch of different compositions set up in the background. This is going to make things so easy to be able to just, already have all of your picture-in-pictures, your compositions, everything lined up and just ready to go. Last but not least, Roland has introduced the USB video capture UVC-01. So this is going to allow you to send your program, or for that matter, anything, out with HDMI in, out USB 3.0 to your computer, for you to pick your favorite streaming software, basically turning any of our switchers now into video streaming switchers. It also has a mini jack in for external audio devices. So if you don't want to run into loopback problems on Zoom or this or that, and you don't want them to go in the computer then back around, you could line out into this. It's going to embed that feed in, and then you're going to pick this as your audio source in your drop-down menu, your video source in your drop-down menu for whatever program you're using, either recording program, streaming platform, whatever it may be. This is going to get whatever you're showing program out to the public. These are not available on their own, so they are only available in video streaming packages from Roland. You can ask your favorite dealer about them. Highly recommended piece to add on to any unit that you're picking up. Even if you're not streaming all the time, this will make it so that you can record. This will make it so that you can stream, you can back up your projects. Truly a key little piece that we've introduced. Also comes with a USB 3.0 cable, which works extremely well. Everything at your fingertips that you need right here in this package. V-1HD Plus, UVC-01, you've got a nice little streaming solution. Thank you very much, and enjoy.
Thanks for that, Dave. For those of you who are paying close attention, Dave actually meant downstream key, not downscale key. So with the addition of the UVC-01, we can now offer a streaming solution with virtually all our switches. Please take a moment and visit Vistec's website to see the range of video switches they have available from Roland. Don't forget to register for access to the Profusion show specials. Also, go to the videos section on the Profusion website. We've got some great videos where you can learn how to do your own live streaming or content creation using our switches. Thank you for joining us at this live stream at Profusion 2020.